Begin. Fusion deployment. Reveal an Albaz monster fusion to summon our Albaz from the deck that we could fuse with our Cartesia to make our Mirror Jade. So we don't have to make plays of Branded Fusion. Showing that this deck would still probably, believe it or not, be on the tier list without Branded Fusion. Branded Fusion banned, this deck would still be good. I don't see Branded Fusion anywhere. We are fusing into the Mirror Jade, playing around Ash, because if he were to have an Ash, he would not have used Ash on the Fusion deployment. That's bait. So that's what you want to understand with Branded Fusion is if you can make Mirror Jade without Branded Fusion, you do that. You go for that line. Even here, you would not negate the Quem because you negate Quem with Ash. This could be the Branded Fusion follow-up. Damn. So what do we have here? If we banish a monster off the field, Quem could then reborn Albaz, but we have no card to discard. That's a problem here. We have Super Poly plus Albaz plays, but nothing in the hand to discard to make those plays. Rebellion discard and grabbing our Serenir, which could change the Quem, trying to reborn something like the Mirror Jade. We have the Branded in High Spirits searching for an Albaz monster. We have Kit. Now, Serenir sending a Retribution from the deck to the graveyard to recycle any branded spell or trap in the grave back to the hand. We have our Branded Fusion. So what are we doing here? What is our response? We have Mirror Jade Banish, which we're... Okay, Rinbrum. Rinbrum's going to pin down the Mirror Jade from activating because it will be negated and then spun back in the extra deck. And when spun back in the extra deck, it does not activate to wipe the field. What now? Quem is triggered, reborning the Cartesia. We did not have our Bestial because we sent it to the graveyard. We are now going to follow up, activate Branded in White, fusing into Rebellion. I want you to understand this play here. The Cartesia fuses with Mirror Jade, and then Quem's supposed to reborn the Mirror Jade, but we already used the Quem, so this doesn't even look that good. We have nothing to discard. What is going on? Our only play really is the Mirror Jade, which just got stopped by Rinbrum. We have Mercor. We're now going to be chain fusing. We could fuse into a Dragostapelia, but at the cost of losing our Mirror Jade. If we chain activate Mirror Jade, we then can't fuse with it because the Rinbrum will spin it back in the extra deck. What are we doing? We're just going to be fusing into the Gangrenol. Sure. Okay. Mercurius searching for the Albion, which will draw a card. And now we have our own Mirror Jade as the opposing one is pinned down by the Rinbrum. What is the play? Gangrenol is going to be activating. We're going to chain banish, forcing out the Mirror Jade activation on the opposing side, otherwise it gets banished. Now, Gangrenol did not activate to send from the deck to the graveyard, which it could have sent a Garura to draw a card to make the Super Polymerization activatable. So this is kind of sus. Where's the send? No send. Even Rinbrum Reborn Albaz, we would have been able to... I don't know if we're playing Garura, are we? Because send Garura could have been good. Yeah, to just get that draw to discard with Super Poly or the Albaz. Rinbrum, as I said, is going to be negating the Mirror Jade, then spinning it back in the extra deck. Yeah, something got messed up here. We got messed up a little bit. Goodbye to the Albion. Gangrenol summoning our Quem from the deck. Quem sent from the deck to the graveyard. Retribution could recycle a branded spell or trap, but I don't see one in the grave. So we still can't Super Poly. Our own Retribution is going to be recycling our branded loss back to our hand here, ensuring the opponent cannot respond to the summons of our fusion monsters. Come forth. So Cartesia Fusion Summon is going to ensure that you can't chain anything. Gangrenol, full protection. Loss can also search for a Mercurier for a monster negate if we play a second Mercurier. I believe most do play 2 Mercurier. There we go. Negate any monster. And we did use our hard, soft once per 2 turns Mirror Jade for banishing. So Mirror Jade's off, Rinbrum's once per turn. You have Maximus banishing an extra deck monster from the grave to come forth and summon itself onto the fields. What was that? We forgot the attack and defense? Maybe our timer's low? Okay. So we did miss lethal, but we could have done a little bit more damage. Titanclad during the end phase, sending a Quen, summoning a Quen to then send an Albaz from the deck to the grave. That's going to be disruption through the Albaz to fuse with the opposing field. Now, Super Poly fusing with the opponent's Mirror Jade will trigger the Quem to reborn the Mirror Jade. So it's like we have to deal with a lot more than just the Mirror Jade and the Quem. This is not looking good for Matt. Cartesia add back. Do we super poly in the end phase, though? Rinbrum is going to be using Albaz to fuse. There we go. In the end phase, Cartesia recycling, discard with Mercurier. You know, I should say discard with Albaz, then Mercurier negates. Huh. Not very good here. Could we have Chainlink blocked Albaz from Mercurier? I get the only way would, no, we really could not Chainlink block the Albaz on summon in a good way. Super polymerization, discarding the Lost, fusing with just the Rinbrum into our own Mirror Jade. Now, the Rinbrum in the opponent's graveyard could reborn their own Albaz to fuse with the Mirror Jade to make a Dragostapelia. We also have Branded Banishment. Oh boy, this is over. Quem is being triggered, reborning the Rinbrum. Retribution, recycling the Branded Loss, which we don't have any play with. We can't do anything with that. We're just activating our cards now. We didn't chain Mirror Jade, so we fuse with the Mirror Jade with the Banishment. Yeah, it is a mess. Let's hop into another duel. That was actually game number 3. Branded versus Branded, always an exciting duel. Thank you very much to both of you. All right. Super Heavy Samurai, Benki is going to be adding our Peacemaker. Peacemaker is a really good choke point for you to disrupt. The problem with Peacemaker on the link to summon a monster from the deck is that they'll usually have a Baron de Floor to negate your disruption on the Peacemaker. And if you're a Super Heavy Samurai player yourself, you know that you want to protect that Peacemaker play if you can. If he searches for Patrol, then it may be the first turn kill. Wait, the box did not activate. Huh? Did you draw? You did not activate box? A problem with toggling off, which is maybe something we did here for faster plays, is toggling off works with public triggers on field, Banisher, and Grave, but a trigger effect in the hand will not activate with your toggle off. We straight up missed the activation of box, right? It is first turn kill. We are FTKing. Let's go. Okay, we got the Queen's Light. This is how you make the Auroradon. Auroradon summon triple token here. With the Wakashi and a token, we're gonna have to make Dark Strike Fighter. But we have to make it in the extra monster zone. So I believe if you synchro right now, you screw up. You are not able to FTK. So you gotta wait. You have to tribute. Getting rid of the Baron de Floor because it already used its negate. And that's the Dark Strike Fighter. Maxi first turn kill. Discard summon a token. Discard summon another token if we want to, but we don't have to. Now the Queen's Nut Light is going to target the level 13 and turn all the tokens into level 13. And the write-in says that it is gaining the level of all the tokens on the field. So what is it going to become? Level 43. At level 43, you tribute it with the Dark Strike Fighter for 8,600 damage. Double its level. Lethal under max freaking C. Damn. Wow. We didn't need the box search, but I'm curious why we didn't trigger its effect, though. All right, starting off with the inherent special summon of the Terror Top. Now we're going to drop the max C. Ash will be negating. Now we have full uninterrupted combo. Let's do it. What is our full uninterrupted combo? Is Morisaki playing... What? Oh yeah, we were playing this, right? Yes. Morisaki is generally the Makanko. No Makankos in this deck is what I'm thinking. Okay, let's go. I forgot what he was playing from game 1. And now we have Gold Pride, better luck next time, grabbing the carry. Carry could special summon if our life points is lower than our opponent. Thanks to the punk cards it is. And I've been seeing some Gold Pride being played with Evil Eye, because Evil Eye is another deck that burns your own life points. So any deck that burns your life points will work well with Gold Pride. Now we're searching for the main Disruptor card, Start Your Engines. If the opponent summons, it's going to destroy that monster and summon a monster that could either fuse or synchro during the opponent's turn. And if we return our extra deck monster back into the deck, we get to draw a card during the end phase. Thank you, Max C. Now, we are going to disrupt that Piercer, stop in the Link summon, reveal triple Leon. Leon will summon, reborning the Baller from the graveyard, and now we could Synchro or Fuse. Did Leon not activate? How did Leon not activate? I don't understand. On summon, okay, so we did not want Leon's downside of the effect, which is when you special summon the Baller from the graveyard to perform the fusion summon, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Gold Pride monsters. There is a downside to it. And then the Shirakusai is not going to be able to synchro into whatever we want. But come on, man, the fusion. The fusion's cool. How are we not going to set up your Gold Pride deck, not a Punk deck? Reborn the Piercer. We are under. Ooh, Baguska. Straight up negate the entire field right away. That's it. You're not going to be able to synchro, fuse, nothing. Saboteur Yu-Gi-Oh! Welcome, my friend. Appreciate you. Yeah, Morsaka didn't want to be locked in a Gold Pride, as I commented. But what is your out to Baguska? Anything that could activate in the graveyard. A Link monster like Unicorn. Linking this up into our Mask Arena. Minus points for not being alternative art. Shokan into the Nightmare Unicorn on summon. Spin back that Baguska back into the extra deck. Are we going to even do anything? We have the Chariot Carry. Now, the carry in the graveyard could boost up your Gold Pride in the field. Are we boosting? Activate, but boost. Banish from the graveyard, becoming 2,900 attack. Better luck next time, adding a Leon. Leon could be special summoned to Reborn from the graveyard, locking us in a Gold Pride only, which we're doing right now. So no access code talker play. 6,600 damage. Didn't we have lethal? If we Baller Fuse? Isn't Baller Fuse 3k damage? I think we had game. All right, carry being summoned during the end phase, triggering the Better Luck next time to draw a card here. Yeah, I missed lethal. All good, my friend. All right, this could not be set though. Now, it's a good thing that he missed lethal because now we could see the Gold Pride Synchro or Gold Pride Fusion play. This is it. This is the downside of playing first turn kill is you could draw one of your bricks. Wagon is going to get sucked up by the Baller Fusion before you could link this up, fusing into the Pinballer, which cannot be negated if you're lower life points than your opponent, which we are not. So it could have been negated, but it does not matter. We had no negates, mate. Suck up the wagon into the scoop. Very well done. I'm loving it. Now, I think we had the wins on the opposite sides here. Yes. All right. So 1-1. Let's go to game 3. All right. We have, and something like Necro Valley, they just have tried to balance, I think, 8 or 9 or even 10 times. This is the main play, but we have Droll and Lockbird on the ad right here, right now. We could stop them from further adding cards from the rest of the turn. Yep, hit him with the Droll. Now, what do you do when the Writing's in your hand? You have a Pendulum Summon, so it's not even really a Garnet. You could still do the combo. So what do you do when you get Drolled or Max Seed? Plan B, Baguska, every single time. Very nice. And if you get Drolled as a Monadium player, you could go into Verte, Anaconda, into the Mirror Jade, which is what we saw. Most people are not going to be doing that, but we saw an Asian tournament top do that play to play better under Droll. Now, when Monadium gets Max Seed, they actually have a much more difficult time. They don't have that easy Baguska play. Funk Seam into defense. Anything activate while on defense. This is just to get our life points lower because while we are lower life points, we could special summon our Gold Prides onto the field, and Baguska is only negating monsters in the field that are in defense. We could Max C this though. All right, Max C and Baguska we don't really have an optimal way to go into that Unicorn. Are we really forcing Unicorn? What are we doing here? We're under Max C. What now? What is this? Oh, well, at least we didn't discard our Magna Hut. That's good. So this could be a reason, under Max C especially, to just have this in any deck to out a Baguska, which is more prevalent in today's meta because of Super Heavy Samurai always making it a Codebreaker Virus. Any 2 effect monsters, 2,300 attack, just swing over Baguska. You don't have to commit further into a Unicorn. Oh boy. I don't think you need me to tell you that this duel is over. Let's go. Banky gets searching as long as we have a super heavy samurai on the field. Link this up into the Scarecrow. Piercer grabbing a Wakashi, which can't even be activated to summon itself onto the field here, but it's still pendulum scale. Any level 4 tuner. Peacemaker onto the Scarecrow. Special summoning our scales. We're going to banish the Wakashi. So the Bystials are actually a good counter to that, but the Soul Piercer itself is not a light or dark, which is normally what they're going to be reborning instead of Wakashi. Shokan into the Excel Synchro, into the Baron de Floor. We have a Coral. Coral could be draw 2 cards if we can get it onto the field. Baron de Floor, pop a card in the field, Omni Negate. It just like that, we don't have lethal damage. Bro, we're a first turn kill deck and we couldn't win? Are you FTKing main phase 2? What are you doing? Zeus? Okay. Summon, special summon? No? All right. You know, we're sitting on that Omni Negate. Baron de Floor using up that Omni Negate, so we do have Valor and the Zeus for disrupting whatever one card they draw into. Think time's low? That probably, right? Baron de Floor during the standby phase, reborning our Excel, start a Synchro, mostly just to get the Baron de Floor back in the action deck to reborn. Self-inflicted lethal damage with the Ash Blossom. And don't forget, within this match, we first turn killed under Max C. That was beautifully done, very well done. It's exciting until it happens too often. The Dragon Rulers are fully unlimited at 3. Every single ruler, fully unlimited. We have Call by the Grave on that Max C. We still have to deal with Ash and Effect Veiler. Interesting. You know, you would think maybe you would Ash the burner play. They called by your Ash, and then you follow up a Max C. Come forth, Blaster. Armed Dragon is activating to search we can search for level 5 or higher Wind Dragon, which could have been the other Dragon Ruler, the Wind one. And now we have Valor for the play of Galaxy Tomahawk. That's what we're going to want to stop here. Or we're going to negate this instead. Since we don't have another Dragon Ruler to summon bees on the Blaster, we don't have our level 7 Synchro, or I should say Exceed play. Galaxy Tomahawk into the Aurora Dawn is our main way to pop off. Ending the turn with 0 disruption. This is not good. Purrely opening up our quick play Purrely spell. For a lot of people, Purrely has completely fallen off the map, but here it is in the tournament. OGBG clapping up. Searching for our My Friend Purrely. I updated the scores to be 1-1 for both players here. Delicious Memory with that 33% chance, limited to 1. Of course we get it to our hand here as we now make our Plump. Nice and plump. It could suck up 2 spell and trap cards from either player's graveyard here. We are going, with the Pretty Memory in the graveyard. Normally you need a quick play spell in the hand to give it the 5th material, but instead of that, we could use the opponent's field for the 5th material. Send the My Friend Purrely, suck up the opponent's monster, 5 material X Purrely Nor, just like that, barely big enough to take out the Blaster. Now, when Blaster is trying to banish from the graveyard, we could just banish it, we could spin it back in the deck. We are going to be drawing into our Nibiru during the standby phase here, just completely ending our turn as we don't really have a good or valid play here. This does activate on its summon, so it is going to be banishing to activate, and that is when the X Purrely Nor could just spin it back into the deck. It's not an inherent special summon. Very well done. Good job to Purrely. Those hand traps, the hand traps got him. I do like the modern branded though. So these long combo decks, they're fun for the player themselves, but you know, it's fun to play with yourself, but you know, there's another person in the room that want to play with you too. Cross out, designate, negate the cockroach. I don't think so. Now, we have no more disruption beyond the Magna Hut. And if you commit to the Albion line, you are susceptible to a Bystial. The Bystial is going to be able to banish the Albaz, and now you're not going to be able to fuse in your Mirror Jade. So you got to be careful about it. You know, this is an optimal line if they don't have a DD Crow or Bystial. Get ready. Albion, Quem is going to be reborning the Cartesia from the graveyard. Magna Hut banishing the Albaz. Now you are forced to commit into a fusion. You have to do it. You can't call off the fusion. Reborn the Cartesia, fusing with the Tragedy. Tragedy will now be triggering to search our deck here. We already used up our normal summon, though. Magnet activating to search during the end phase. Dragostapelia with its once per turn negate. It's not a once per turn negate, it's a once per turn put a Preda counter, and anything with a Preda counter will be negated. Come to us, Quem. Quem in the hand is not so good, but it's just going to be for discard fodder is what I'm thinking. We have Branded Banishment. We don't even have an Albaz. We just really have the monster negate here. Cartesia is going to be Chain Fusion summoning in response to the Lubellion. The Cartesia that we're fusing into is going to be giving us a Gangrenol. Gangrenol will send a card from the extra deck or deck to the grave. And we have Druid Swarm to chain banish anything from the opposing graveyard here. Quem attempting to reborn Cartesia, and that is going to be our negate. Now, Druid Swarm, if we send it to the graveyard, is going to get rid of the Dragostapelia. Do we even have a good play with our banishment? Banishment is, I hope you do not think you could reborn Mirror Jade with your banishment. This is, why would we ever want Mirror Jade in the graveyard here? Maybe if you're playing TCG, but not here though. I think we just tried. And you know, you miss 100% of the shots you don't try. So Quem from the graveyard. And we have a Borreload Dragon. Borreload Furious, very well done. And as the Gangrenol now goes into a Coritis in response to an effect of a monster to special summon, sending a Retribution from the deck to the graveyard, as we're now going to recycle from the grave our Branded Fusion in response to a YOLO Allure of Darkness. If we don't draw a dark, our whole hand goes to the grave. This is it. There was an attempt. Goodbye to the Borreload. You cannot pop a card in the field now. You can pop your monster plus any other card in the field. Did not draw into any dark. Just like that. Battery Man Solar. Oh my Jesus. Battery Man Solar with the Bestials is a good time. Light plus dark, that's going to be the Chaos Angel. And especially if you're playing a Thunder Dragon deck, it's even better. Thunder Dragon to add up to 2 Thunder Dragons from the deck. Here we are going to be adding both of them to have a nice fat hand. Going for that Allure of Darkness. Goodbye to our Serenir. And now we have Lupine. Ending our turn on just Colossus. So the Branded Beast will only be activatable if we have a Bestial on the field. So we kind of have disruption through the Baldrake and the Druid Swarm and the Beast and the Colossus. So what's going on here is they can't add from the deck. And if they summon a monster from the extra deck, the Baldrake's going to be able to banish it by tributing the Druid Swarm. And the Druid Swarm could then send another card in the field to the grave. And then, you know, we got double banish. So let's see what happens. It's be quite interesting how we play this out. Super Polymerization, discarding Nibiru to fuse with the Colossus into our Dragostapelia, as we can now add cards from the deck to our hand. We also have Branded Regained. We're going to be negated by the Ash Blossom on that grass-looking green, which would have milled 33 cards. That's a massive mill. Dragostapelia ready to negate any monster in the field, wiping up the Cross Sheep, plus attacking directly for our 25. We're not going to be summoning our Bestials during the end phase here. Now, this will be triggering the Regain to recycle a Colossus, which is limited to 1. We get to draw a card, but you're giving them back Colossus. Is that a good idea? Because they could possibly summon that Colossus again this turn. You get Colossus back, I get draw 1. Did not draw into a hand trap here. Lubellion come forth, triggering the Druid Swarm to then send the Dragostapelia to the graveyard. Now, Dragostapelia is not negating Lubellion before it leaves the field. It's not going to be negated whatsoever because it needs to be on the face up on the field still in order to negate. So we still get to set up our own Branded Regained. Very well done. Our stepsister is right over there. Regained of our own, banishing the opponent's card. Did not trigger Regain to get drawn off of that. Gold Sark plus Regained, right? Activate Roar and Chain Regain to return it back into the deck here as we're summoning a Thunder Dragon from the deck. Now we need a Thunder monster to have been activated in our hand in order to summon our Thunder Dragon Colossus. So we are going to be going into the Gloomy, triggering the Dark to grab a Thunder Dragon Fusion. Steal a Dark monster from the opponent's graveyard, taking control of a Dragostapelia, fusing with our Banished and or Engraved. Back in the deck we go into a Thunder Dragon Titan. Over 10,000 damage on the field. We're summoning our Max C to go into our Nightmare Unicorn on summon, spin a card on the field, back in the deck here. What happened to our Nibiru? We discarded it, right? Like, we lost our Nibiru, and then we kind of needed it. Damn. Very well done for both players here. Let's hop into another duel.